So I think I figured out why everyone is calling men narcissists these days, right? This has nothing to do with the 2024 presidential election, but I have been posting a lot of relationship videos, and I see a lot of women who are commenting about their narcissistic ex and other things in their stories, and I empathize with that greatly because I don't think that everyone is a narcissist, but I think we're also struggling to really talk about what narcissism is. It's also 5:59 in the morning. I am just making my coffee. I am very tired, prepared for another long day. Anyways, I looked up the definition of narcissism, and these are the traits. So it is a curiosity with grandiosity, right? Or grandiose things. So essentially somebody wanting their life to be super cool or amazing or this fairy tale type thing that's a little bit unrealistic. Number two, it was occupation and obsession with fantasies. So really thinking that you are at the center of the story or thinking that your life is difficult in these ways just so you can eventually get to some superior outcome and be the hero of this whole thing. And you're definitely not the villain. Number three was a sense of entitlement. So somebody who feels like they are entitled to great things or entitled to rewards, especially with little or no work required. So thinking that things should sort of come to you. And then even when you do work hard, you very, very fully much believe in that you're definitely going to be rewarded and should be rewarded. And you resent when you were not rewarded after working hard yourself. You don't just accept that as part of the process. Number four, it is a desperate need or want to exploit things. So every situation, every person, every opportunity, every business deal, everything that you kind of do, you have a desperate need to want to exploit or control that. Number five, it was a difficulty recognizing feelings. So obviously a lack of empathy that can be associated with someone who is a psycho or a sociopath. And there are those kinds of things. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a therapist. I can't tell you all of what that is. But I think that someone who has a difficult time empathizing is either going through a lot and just can't put themselves in that viewpoint, or they really can't see what it's like on the other side of the fence, or they just don't care, right? I think the third one is probably more associated with that, but we'll see. Let's see. The fifth one, an excessive need for admiration or attention. I think this is the primary thing that most people see what narcissism really is and for, and how we're able to label other people narcissists. But I think when you have an excessive need for admiration, that comes from your childhood. And I think that you need to look at that, and I think that you need to understand where that's coming from, because if you can't control that, that is going to ruin your life. You don't always need admiration. And I think that working hard should just be part of the process, something that you should accept. Number six, sensitivity to criticism. That was really the last one. And something that I see is when people have a massive need or a massive sensitivity to criticism, that's life telling you that you have some emotional work to do. You have some emotional wounds, you have some core wounds, because you can't take a difficult person's perspective. And I think it's very interesting because it's the past couple of years in this country, a lot of people have taken a lot of criticism, okay, both sides of the aisle. And I think that as Americans, we need to be able to have a little bit thicker of a skin. Okay, male, female, undisclosed, doesn't matter. Be able to take some criticism. I know I do. I take criticism all the time. I see it in the comments, right? But my point is not everybody is a narcissist. I think my point is that inherently we are all narcissists because you have to be. If you don't care about yourself more than other people, you're going to die. You're not going to remain healthy. You're not going to be in good spirits. So it is your job in order to remain mentally, physically, emotionally ahead of the game. You have to take care of yourself. It's the same way that on an airplane, when the emergency things drop down, you have to put your air mask on first. And if by that definition, then we're all narcissists. But I do think that inherently everyone is narcissistic. You're not going to be able to get rid of that. You have to take care of yourself before others. I just think that when men go through a lot, I think they often get blamed for being narcissistic because they see how hard they're working. They have a need for admiration. They want to be recognized and succeeded, but they are unable to produce results in certain situations and relationships. And I think because of those failures and because they're so hard on themselves and because they push other people away in that process, trust me, how do I know this? I've gone through it myself. I've been called a narcissist. But regardless, I think that a lot of men are categorically called a narcissist because when we fail, we lash out and we push other people away. And it is for a need for attention, and it is because of a lack of empathy. I think these things are very, very closely aligned to a male's journey through this life. So I think men and women are both inherently narcissistic, and I think that this definition needs to be more carefully reviewed. Okay? Have a good day, y'all. Have fun in the comments. We'll see you soon.